Hello everyone, let's learn about female reproductive system.
Ovaries. Ovaries, the primary female reproductive organ or organs related to ovaries. Structure: the ovaries are covered on the outside by a layer of simple cuboidal epithelium called germinal ovarian epithelium. The medulla is a loose connective tissue with abundant blood vessels, lymphatic vessels, and nerve fibers.
Oogenesis. Female sex cell or gametes develop in the ovaries from of meiosis colon oogenesis. The sequences of events in oogenesis is similar to the sequence in spermatogenesis, but the timing and final result are different. Early and fetal development. Ovulation. Ovulation prompted by luteinizing hormone from the anterior pituitary occurs when the mature follicle at the surface of the ovary rupture and release the secondary oocyte into the peritoneal cavity. The ovulated secondary oocyte ready for fertilization is still surrounded by the zona lucida and a few layers of cell called the corona radiata. After ovulation and in response to luteinizing hormone, the portion of the follicle that remains in the ovary enlarges and is transformed into a corpus luteum. The corpus luteum is a granular structure that secretes progesterone and some estrogen. Its fat depends on whether fertilization occurs.
2. Genital tract. Genital tract, fallopian tubes. There are two uterine tubes, also called fallopian tubes or oviducts. The oocyte is moved along by the racemic bedding of cilia on the epithelial lining and by peristaltic action of the smooth muscle in the wall of the tube. Tube journey to the fallopian tube takes about 7 days. Because the oocyte is virile or only 24 to 28 hours, virilization usually occurs in the fallopian tubes.
Uterus. The uterus is a muscular organ that receives the cartilage ochely and provides an appropriate environment for the developing fetus. Vagina. The vagina is a fibromuscular tube about 10 cm long that extends from the cervix of the uterus to the outside. It is located between the rectum and the urinary bladder.
External genitalia. The external genitalia are the accessory structures of the female reproductive system that are external to the vagina. They are also referred to as the vulva or pudendum. The external genitalia include the labia major, mons pubis, labia minor, clitoris, and glands within the vestibule. The mons pubis is the fatty tissue that surrounds the pubic bone. This tissue contains glands to secrete oil with pheromones, which increase sexual attraction. Labia major is the gateway that protects the outer female reproductive organs. As the name implies, this organ is large. In the labia major, there are sweat and sebaceous glands, which produce lubricating fluid. When a woman enters puberty, the labia major will start to grow pubic hair. Labia minor is located inside the labia major and surrounds the opening of the vagina and urethra. The tube that carries urine from the bladder outside the body. The shape and size of this organ can differ from person to person. The surface is also very fragile and sensitive.
Labia minor, left and right, meet in the middle above, namely on the clitoris. The clitoris is a small lobe that is very sensitive to stimulation. You could say this organ has a similar function to the penis in men. The vestibular balls are the long section of the vaginal opening, which contain erectile tissue. When a woman fills her seat, this section will fill with a lot of blood and enlarge. After a woman has an orgasm, the blood in their tissue will flow back into the body. The Bartholini glands are small pits in the opening of the vagina. The function of this organ is to secrete mucus and lubricate the vagina during sexual intercourse. Posterior to the clitoris, the urethra, vagina paraurethral gland, and the greater vestibular gland open into the vestibule.
Stimulus at same as male mechanical stimulus. Vascular congestion of the clitoris. The clitoris is erectile tissue. Vaginal secretion and nipple erection. Orgasm caused by rhythmic contraction of the vagina and uterus. Increased blood pressure and heart rate, which supports skeletal muscle contraction.
At puberty, when the ovaries and uterus are mature enough to respond to hormonal stimulation, certain stimulates the hypothalamus to start secreting gonadotropin-releasing hormone. This hormone enters the blood and goes to the anterior pituitary gland, where it stimulates the secretion of follicle-stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. This hormone, in turn, affects the ovaries and uterus. The monthly cycles begin. A woman's reproductive cycle lasts from menarche to menopause. The monthly ovarian cycles begin with the follicle development during the follicular phase, continues with ovulation during the ovulatory phase, and concludes with the development and regression of the corpus luteum during the luteal phase. The uterine cycle takes place simultaneously with the ovarian cycle. The uterine cycle begins with the menstruation during the menstrual phase, continues with repair of the endometrium during the proliferative phase, and ends with the growth of glands and blood vessels during the secretory phase. Menopause occurs when a woman's reproductive cycle stops. This period is marked by decreased levels of ovarian hormones and increased levels of pituitary follicle-stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. The changing hormone levels are responsible for the symptoms associated with menopause.
Mammary gland. Functional. The mammary gland produce milk. Structurally, they are modified sweat gland. Mammary glands, which are located in the breast overlay the vectorally major muscle, are present in both sexes, but usually are functional only in the female. Externally, each breast has a raised nipple, which is surrounded by a circular pigmented are called the areola. The nipples are sensitive to touch due to the fact that they contain smooth muscular contracts and cause them to become erect and respond to stimulation. Internally, the adult family breast contains 15 to 20 lobes of glandular tissue that radiate around the nipple.
The lobes are supported by connective and adipose tissue. The connective tissue helps support the breast. Some beds of connective tissue, called suppository Cooper's ligaments, extend through the breast from the skin to the underlying muscles. The mode and distribution of the adipose tissue determines the size and shape of the breast. Each lobe consists of lobes that contain the glandular uterus, a lactiferous duct collects the milk from the lobes within each lobe and carries it to the nipple. Just before the nipple, the lactiferous duct enlarges it to form a lactiferous sinus amula, which serves as a reservoir for milk. After the sinus, the duct again narrows and each duct opening independently on the surface of the nipple.
After the sinus, the duct again narrows and each duct opens independently on the surface of the nipple. Mammary gland function is regulated by hormones. At puberty, increasing level of estrogen stimulates the development of glandular tissue in the female breast. Estrogen also causes the breast to increase in size through the accumulation of adipose tissue. Progesterone stimulates the development of the duct system. During pregnancy, this hormone enhances further development of the mammary glands. Prolactin from the anterior pituitary stimulates the production of milk within the glandular tissue, and oxytocin causes the ejection of milk from the glands.
Di tempat